Translating Binyanim. The Hebrew word binyan means building or construction. In biblical Hebrew grammar, a binyan is a way that a verb root can be built or constructed to give it a particular meaning. There are 4 main meanings that a binyan can give to a verb: active, passive, causative, and reflexive. Active is when the subject of the sentence does the action. For example, the dog bit the postman. Passive is when the subject of the sentence has the action done to it. For example, the postman was bitten by the dog. Causative means causing something to happen. For example, the evil owner made the dog bite the postman. And reflexive is doing something to yourself. For example, the dog bit himself. There are 7 main binyanim: kal, nifal, piel, pual, hifil, hofal, and hispa'al. The kal is by far the most common binyan. It is called kal because the Hebrew word kal means light, easy, and the kal is the most straightforward binyan, with a simple active translation. For example, the kal of the root kaf tof base means to write, and the kal of the root shin base resh means to break. The nifal can have a passive meaning. So, while the kal of kaf tof base means to write, the nifal means to be written. The nifal can also have reflexive meaning. So the nifal of the root samach tof resh means to hide yourself. When a verb falls naturally in the nifal, and there is no kal form of that root, it can have an active meaning. For example, the root lamed ches mem does not appear in the kal, so its nifal form has the active meaning to fight. Some people call these nifal forms interactive, as they tend to be actions which involve 2 parties interacting. The piel can also have a number of meanings. It can have an active translation which is more intense when compared with the kal active meaning. So the root shin base resh in the kal is to break, and its piel form is to smash, a more intense meaning, but still active. This is known as intensive active. The piel can also have causative meaning. The root lamed mem daled in the kal means to learn. In the piel it means to teach, which is to cause to learn. These 2 meanings of the piel can be understood to be related to each other, since they are both linked to being keen to do an action. Someone who is keen to do something may do it in a more intense way. This is the intensive meaning. They may also try to convince others to do it. This is the causative meaning. Like the nifal, if a verb appears in the piel but does not have a kal equivalent, it can have a simple active translation, just as the kal would. The pual is the passive form of the piel. So shin base resh, which in the piel means to smash, in the pual would mean to be smashed. And lamed mem daled, which in the piel means to teach, in the pual would mean to be taught. The hifil binyan usually has causative meaning. So whereas the kal of the root mem vov tof means to die, the hifil means to kill, which is to cause to die. Like the nifal and the piel, if a verb appears in the hifil but does not have a kal equivalent, it can have a simple active translation. One example is the root nun kaf he, which does not appear in the kal. In the hifil, it means to strike. The hofal is the passive form of the hifil. So mem vov tof, which in the hifil means to kill, in the hofal would mean to be killed. And nun kaf he, which in the hifil means to strike, in the hofal would mean to be struck. The final binyan of the 7 main binyanim is the hispa'al. The hispa'al primarily has reflexive meaning. So where the kal of the root nun sin aleph means to lift, the hispa'al means to lift yourself. This reflexive meaning of the hispa'al can also extend to include a meaning where someone behaves in a certain way, i.e. conducts themselves or imagines themselves to be a certain way. So the root ches lamed he, which in the kal is to be ill, in the hisba'el can mean to pretend to be ill or to act as though you are ill. Now pause the video and try to work out how each of these roots would be translated in the given binyan. For example, since the basic meaning of aleph kaf lamed is eat, the hifil meaning would be cause to eat or feed. Here are the correct answers. In summary,